Good afternoon, Chicago Debates community. I'm Dr. Toynette Gunn, Executive Director for Chicago Debates. I'm excited to have you join us today for our ninth annual Make Room for Debate virtual experience. We have quite the hour of impact and inspiration planned for you. Today's event is nothing short of a vision inspired by and innovated through COVID. In March, when we rescheduled this event, we were really hoping to be in person. Fast forward when that still wasn't possible, we didn't let a global pandemic stop us from envisioning and creating something different and appropriate for the time. So, we've spent the last few months planning this virtual experience for you in more ways than one. From your virtual attendance today to how our production team at Silent Live Media created today's program from individual speeches and interviews recorded in dorm rooms, living rooms, home offices, and actual offices. We hope this is a virtual experience like no other. But before we jump into our program, I would like to thank our event sponsors. Our premier platinum sponsor, Allstate Insurance, our gold sponsors at Fager Drinker, I Manage, Kirkland and Ellis, and Wilkie, Farr and Gallagher. Our silver sponsors, Barrick Ferrazzano, Chuhack and Texan, Massey and Gale, McDermott, Will and Emery, Mitchell Williams, Origami Risk, the Sullivan family, Winston and Strawn, and Wintrust. And thank you to all of our bronze sponsors as well. All of our sponsors are highlighted in our digital program book, which can be found on the same page as the stream for this event. I'd also like to recognize a few important people who are virtually joining us today and thank them for their support. Cook County Board President and 2013 Champion of Debate, Tony Preckwinkle, City Clerk of Chicago, Anna Valencia, and Chief Administrator of the Chicago Civilian Office of Police Accountability, Sydney Roberts. Thank you for joining us. And thanks again to each of you for joining us today. Now grab your lunch and enjoy your experience.
Hello, and welcome to the ninth annual Make Room for Debate Luncheon. This year, a virtual experience. My name is David Nadig. I'm Senior Vice President and Deputy General Counsel for Allstate Insurance Company, which is a premier platinum sponsor for today's virtual experience. And I'm proud to serve as chair of the Chicago Debates Board. Thank you to Allstate and all of our very generous sponsors. I also want to thank my fellow Chicago Debates board members, the Associates Board, and the Chicago Debates staff who work so hard to make debate a reality in the Chicago Public Schools. We are thrilled to have you join us today to celebrate our student debaters and to honor our 2020 Champion of Debate, Ed Wimmer, CEO of Wintrust. Debate helps students learn the value of research and preparation, expands their ability to think critically by viewing issues on both sides, and teaches them to express their evidence-backed positions concisely, all while fueling a passion for justice and change. Ed Wimmer, a successful businessman and community advocate, understands firsthand how important these skills are in cultivating future leaders, particularly here in Chicago. Ed is a longtime supporter of Chicago Debates. So today, we honor his dedication to the success of our youth and building a stronger Chicago. Congratulations, Ed. I look forward to hearing from you later. We know debate plays an important role in the education of Chicago students. Debate exists here due to a unique 23-year-old partnership between Chicago Debates and the Chicago Public Schools. I want to thank all of our CPS partners who support debate: the Chicago Board of Education, CEO of Chicago Public Schools, Dr. Janice Jackson, Chief Education Officer, LaTanya McDade, Chief Officer of Teaching and Learning, Dr. Cheryl Chavaria, Academic Competitions Manager, Sylvia Nelson Jordan, and Academic Competitions Associate, Danette Porter. For 23 years, Chicago Debates has worked in partnership with CPS, helping thousands of Chicago students to build skills for their success. Even when we faced challenges in the last school year, which included programming disruptions due to the 2-week strike and COVID-19, we remained vigilant and supported nearly 1,200 students from 78 Chicago public schools. We are proud to run the largest urban policy debate program of its kind in the entire country. However, we can't stop here. We have big dreams and thus big goals. Today, you will hear about the impact debate has on our students and how the skills they develop through debate help them succeed in school or motivate them to become a community organizer or prepare them to lead in the business world. Our goal is to ensure debate remains an available activity in CPS for all students. Our dream is for every Chicago public school to have a debate team. Through the commitment of Chicago Debates in CPS, we plan to serve more than 1,700 students across 95 schools this academic year. But we can't achieve that goal alone. We need everyone joining us today to help us to expand the reach of debate. That's really why we are here, to ensure every student has the opportunity to enhance their academic, career, civic, and leadership skills through debate. As board chair, it's been my pleasure seeing how much Chicago debate has grown, in no small part due to this annual Make Room for Debate luncheon. So thank you for being here today and for investing in our youth and in Chicago.
Hello, and welcome to the Chicago Debates 9th Annual Make Room for Debate Luncheon. We have an exciting hour planned for you, ensuring that this is a virtual experience like no other you've experienced before. Thank you for joining us today. My name is DeMarvin Puerto, and I am a Chicago Debates alumnus and 2020 graduate of Lane Tech College Prep. Debate has been a part of my life for the past 7 years. I began debating in middle school and was certainly too young to truly understand that this activity I was joining would be so much more than an activity and come to be such a central part of my development. People who aren't intimately familiar with debate can usually immediately see that a benefit of debate is to build communication skills. We are also often compared to the movie The Great Debaters. While there is a connection, it is true that debate builds communication skills. There are many other benefits. As I continued in debate, I began to see that debate is so much more than just an activity. To me, debate was about opportunity. It helped me to stretch my imagination and dreams about who I was and who I could be. As I got older, I saw it as a platform to help in my journey of becoming an immigration attorney. It fueled my passion. It inspired me. It gave me hope. It was a place of many places. It was family. It was warmth. It was stability. Debate is flexible to accept and welcome the uniqueness of every student. Debate is also where you can build your network, leadership, and teamwork skills. Debate is a place where we not only learn about the problems in the world, but are encouraged to do something about them and advocate for change. It's a place to grow and develop. Debate transformed me, and it was a place where I could belong. Debate has helped me to truly believe that it doesn't matter where you begin. What matters is how you finish. If you would have told me in middle school that I would qualify for nationals in my senior year of high school, I would not have believed it. If you would have told me in middle school that this activity could pave the way for this kid from the west side of Chicago to attend Wake Forest University, participate on their debate team, and study political science and Latin American studies, I would not have believed it. But debate is empowering. It builds confidence and belief in self. It gives you what you need even when you didn't know you needed it. Debate is so much more than just an activity. Debate will forever be a part of me. Again, I want to welcome you for this virtual experience. Thank you for attending, allowing me the opportunity to share with you today, and for supporting debate programming for Chicago students like me. Enjoy your experience.
So the mission of Chicago Debates is really about investing in youth in Chicago. It really is about bridging the opportunity gap that exists for Chicago public school students.
To be able to use your mind in a way that is outside of the classroom. It's fun.
I think debate is something that everyone should have access to, but especially in urban areas where students may not have access to the skills and resources that debate has the potential to provide.
These are things that we want to encourage kids to have. We want them to be passionate. We want them to be talking to each other. We want them to be taking stands on things. And I think that Chicago Debates gives that opportunity often to populations that wouldn't otherwise necessarily have high-level debate being offered to them as an activity.
As a result of debate, we find that students have higher GPAs. They have higher standardized test scores. They graduate from high school and college at higher rates. And so when we think about an activity like this, then we do say that this is something that should be available to every student.
So Chicago Debates is an amazing partner with an amazing vision and with an amazing execution.
I am thankful. I've gotten a lot of memorable experiences from it. It's done a lot of positive things academically.
Beyond the skills that they gain from it, it's just also being able to meet and make friends with people from around the city that are different from them.
And the camaraderie that's a part of the Senate debate team is something I am intensely proud of and that I just love being around.
It's very global and encompassing of everyone, no matter their identity or what they choose to believe. There's always room for everyone in debate.
If I won or if I did a really good speech, I knew that it wasn't like something that I was reading from somebody else. It was something that I wrote and something that I put my time into.
Know that you have a voice. Know that no matter who you are, you can impact people around you.
It's allowing them to not just have a voice, but understand how to use their voice in a positive manner.
But we know from research, we know from just experience that they are on the right track as they are having educational success. And so I find joy in every step of that progress along the way because I know what that means for them in the end.
Debate brings advocacy skills and critical thinking skills to any point in any point of life.
Debate is a great way for students to get involved and learn about modern political issues, and it provides a way to focus on academic success.
And I've also felt myself grow as a person. I've become more confident in myself. I've become even better in school, like with my research skills.
Your persuasive skills and your writing skills really improve through debate.
If it wasn't for debate, I don't think that I would be nearly as outspoken or brave as I am now.
And they utilize debate to get into college.
I don't really know where I would be without Chicago Debates, to be honest. I wouldn't see myself applying to such institutions like Northwestern, Harvard, University of Michigan.
It allows me to take things or lessons I learned in high school or middle school and use them now, especially here at Wake Forest. So I'm glad that I'm part of the debate.
We would not be able to deliver debate to the 1,700 plus students a year at 90 some odd schools without the support of our generous donors and corporate sponsorships.
It's just important for them to know that they provided a lot of positive and memorable experiences for a lot of people.
The men and women that are volunteering, donating money, fundraising, this program wouldn't function the way it does without those people.
As we have more donors and more volunteers, all I can say is that the program becomes greater.
Chicago Debates is an organization that I'm always thankful for because they're putting together tournaments, they are organizing the Coaches Council, they are putting together core files. They're doing so many things, and they often are doing it in so professionally and so kindly and with a real focus on the students and the students getting the best experience possible.
To all the people who donate their time and their energy and their resources to making debate possible, not just for me, but for everyone across Chicago, I want to say a really big thank you.
Chicago Debates exists due to a 23-year-old partnership with Chicago Public Schools, and they focus on investing in Chicago youth and the city. Our work would not be possible without the support we receive in the city and from Chicago Public Schools. So allow me to share a couple of messages highlighting that support and the impact of debate on our youth and the city.
Hello everyone, I'm Mayor Lori Lightfoot. First, let me give a big congratulations to Chicago Debates on your 9th annual Make Room for Debate luncheon, and for your 23 years in helping bridge the opportunity gap for Chicago public school students. As we turn on the news, read the paper, or check social media, there's no escaping the righteous unrest across our communities. Our city and our entire nation are crying out for change. That's why I'm so excited to see programs like Chicago Debates investing in our youth and helping mold Chicago's future leaders. Our democracy rests on our ability to talk to each other and work together towards common goals. Chicago Debates, in partnership with Chicago Public Schools, empowers young people to do just that. As school resumed last week, Chicago Debates remains committed to ensuring that students have access to debate as they build towards their careers after graduation. I want to commend everyone for their continued support in our shared efforts towards helping build a stronger Chicago for us all. Thank you, and please remember to be safe.
As a former debate coach in Chicago Public Schools, I cannot say enough about the positive impact of this activity on today's youth. Debate builds communication, leadership, and critical thinking skills. It also strengthens intellectual curiosity. Even more important, debate helps students of every race, background, religion, and community find their voice, and they learn how to passionately articulate what matters most to them. These are the skills we need in our future generations, skills that help students thrive in the classroom today so that they can go on to be the thinkers, leaders, and innovators our world needs them to be. I thank everyone at Chicago Debates for providing our students with this unique combination of rigor, empowerment, and fun. This experience is preparing them to succeed in the world, and it is shaping them into informed, civic-minded citizens who are not afraid to speak their minds. That intense need to let your voice be heard, this is the gift that participating in debate gives to our students. And as the leader of this district, I will always be an advocate for giving them that gift. Thank you for your continued support for our children.
I started as executive director for Chicago Debates just over 2 years ago. In one of my earlier meetings, a colleague posed the question to me, who should be interested in supporting debate? I quickly responded with, everyone should be interested in supporting debate. I passionately shared about debate being a transformational and powerful skill building activity. I ranted on about what those skills were and how they weren't germane to debate, but transferable and necessary in finding success in academics, careers, leadership, and just life in general. So this fireside chat idea was planted during that meeting nearly 2 years ago. The fleshed out idea to help those who aren't knowledgeable about debate and its impact to learn more, but specifically to hear directly from experts in specific industries about the skills cultivated through debate and how those skills contribute to academic career and leadership preparedness and success. Now, while I can go on and on about the impact of debate, the skills it helps to build, how those skills are used in the critical transition points we all journey through in life, specifically meaning the transitions from grade school to high school, from high school to college, college to careers, and careers to leadership. Who best to hear it from than subject matter experts themselves? Over the last couple of weeks, I had the pleasure of chatting with some of these experts, and I am eager to let you in on those very enlightening conversations. I caught up with our honoree, founder and CEO of Wintrust, Mr. Ed Wemmer. Founded in 1991, Wintrust is a financial services holding company based in Rosemont, Illinois, and is currently the second largest bank group headquartered here in the state of Illinois. Ed is an accomplished businessman, CEO, entrepreneur, and community advocate. Welcome, Ed.
Dr. Gunn, thanks for having me. This is very informative.
Despite being extremely busy with the upcoming start of the school year, I also caught up with Chief of Teaching and Learning, Dr. Shirley Shavaria. Dr. Shavaria is an urban school leader with 10 years of educational experience, serving as an educator and administrator focused on equity and access at the classroom, school, and district level. As the Chief of Teaching and Learning, Dr. Shavaria oversees the Academic Competitions Department, in which debate as an academic program and the partnership with Chicago Debates is managed. Dr. Shavaria has led numerous initiatives during her time at CPS to advance the district's commitment to academic progress, including the Curriculum Equity Initiative. Dr. Shavaria's educational expertise also includes experience both as a principal and award-recognized teacher leader of excellence. Welcome, Dr. Shavaria.
My pleasure.
Lastly, I caught up with Executive Director of the People's Lobby and Chicago Debates Class of 2000 alumnus, Will Tansman. Will has been organizing since 1999 and has been an organizer with the People's Lobby and its predecessor organization since 2008. The People's Lobby is a membership-driven organization of people across the Chicago region that work together to build widespread support for public policies and candidates. They train leaders to build bases in our communities, organize support for progressive legislation, endorse candidates, and take direct action to pressure elected officials and other powerful people to put the interests of the people and the planet first. Leaders include students who organize for racial, economic, and gender justice at their universities and beyond. Notable accomplishments of the People's Lobby include leading the fight to end cash bail. The People's Lobby has been one of the anchor organizations in the Coalition to End Money Bond campaign that won a policy of limiting cash bail to amounts that defendants can afford, and leading a successful multi-year campaign to raise the minimum wage in suburban Cook County, which secured raises of up to $10,000 a year for tens of thousands of low-wage workers. Welcome, Will.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
Thank you to each of our participants for being here today. Let's jump right in. Dr. Shavaria, Chicago Debates asserts that we are helping to bridge the opportunity gap that exists for Chicago public school students. How do you see debate as an activity helping to bridge that gap? And why is debate an activity that should be available to all students?
Thank you. Thank you for that question. I think that perhaps the most obvious answer that someone might give to this question is that we know that students that come from communities that have diminished access to resources experience differential academic opportunities as those compared to their suburban or middle upper income peers. And so, of course, we want students to have similar experiences to their peers. But I think there's actually another reason why we think that this activity should be made available to students. And when I think about the opportunity gap, I think more about what opportunities students have for future opportunities and success. And what we know from research is that when we improve adolescents' engagement with school, and whether that be the direct classroom experience during the instructional day or after school with activities that create a positive sense of relationship with school, that really improves student outcomes across a range of indicators. So, students' engagement with school, their behavior and their emotional connectedness with school change, and those kinds of indicators are strong predictors of high school graduation and college attendance.
Thank you. Ed, we hold firm in our assertion that supporting Chicago Debates is not only supporting student success, but also an investment in cultivating future leaders for our city and nation. What are your thoughts about that?
Oh, for sure. There is a dearth of leadership these days, as I think we've seen in not just public affairs, but in business and in non-for-profits. We need more good leaders out there. Good leaders have to be able to think outside the box but with a structured approach to life. The organization of the brain and your thoughts and putting your thoughts out there to be judged is so important. And the confidence that builds brings new leaders. And doesn't have to be political leaders, it can be leaders across the board on all aspects of life in Chicago and life in general. I think it helps the young children grow up, or these young men and women grow up faster too. Putting them in the spotlight, making them think, having them develop opinions that are based on fact, and again, the empathy they can put forward to understanding both sides of a situation can bring forth compromise, and compromise is part of leadership, and something we don't see a lot nowadays, but debates really helps people do that. So I think it's an integral part of what we need to continue to push in the schools and beyond, so that people are able to move us all forward in a way that maybe you're not all happy, but like we always say, you do a business deal, everybody walks away from the table a little bit unhappy, it's probably a good deal. Going forward in any sort of leadership position, you can't win everything. So, and they have to understand that. They do that by understanding both sides of an argument.
Great, thank you. Will, same question for you.
I completely agree. I think that one of the most important obstacles to working class and low income students and students of color becoming leaders in our city and nation is that they're constantly being told that their voices don't matter, that we should just let the people in charge continue to make the decisions because they're smarter, they understand how things work, and we're naive if we think the world can be fundamentally better. Debate teaches students that they can speak the language of policy. They can learn an entirely new subject and learn to take positions on it. They don't need to wait around for smarter people to fix the world's problems. They are people with legitimate and important voices who can demand a seat at the table. And I think that given the crises happening in our city and our world right now, the students coming through Chicago Debates are exactly the people whose voices need to be part of creating a better future.
I couldn't agree with you more. Thank you. Dr. Shavaria, this question is for you. There's significant research and evidence on the impact of debate, specifically here in Chicago, where debaters have higher GPAs, test scores, and are more likely to graduate high school and college, as you just mentioned. What is it specifically about debate that contributes to these positive results?
I think there are many things that contribute to those positive results. So I think debate really allows students to strengthen non-cognitive skills, things like self-control, working with peers, communicating effectively, resolving conflict, and listening to each other. And we know that those non-cognitive skills are extremely important for student success. And we also know and believe that debate strengthens students' academic skills, reading, writing, analytical skills. And as a chief of teaching and learning, I believe that debate also really mirrors what we believe to be a strong instructional experience. There's a clear body of evidence that shows that when students have sustained opportunities to engage in what's called authentic intellectual work that allows for students to think critically, that asks for students to engage in higher order thinking, to develop deep content knowledge and understanding of a topic, and to engage in sustained and elaborated communication with an authentic audience in a medium that has value beyond school, that those kinds of instructional experience will bear out in standardized metrics like an ACT or like a GPA. And so when I think about the kind of structured opportunity that debate offers students to engage in, it hits all of those markers of an opportunity for students to have that authentic intellectual work experience in a setting that also develops their non-cognitive skills. So I think that it's that combination that is really perhaps driving those kinds of outcomes.
So at this question I have, you've spoken a little bit to the skills that debate helps students to build and why that's important in leadership. I want to dig a little bit deeper into that. And there is significant research and evidence on the impact of debate, specifically here in Chicago, where debaters have higher GPAs, higher test scores, and they're more likely to graduate high school and college. The impact can be attributed to those skills that you've mentioned earlier, and as a result of debate. Skills that are described as 21st century skills, like critical thinking, creativity, communication, collaboration, research, and data synthesis, just to name a few. How do you see those skills aligning with what's needed to be successful in the workplace and in positions of leadership, right? This is what you do. You cultivate leaders, you hire smart people. How do you see those skills contributing to the success that young people that we're, looking forward to them having later on?
I think it starts with the level of confidence that people get by understanding that they can use their minds to think of outside the box and think of good ideas going forward. The compromise aspect, the empathy aspect, as I said, learning both sides of an equation, having to study and see exactly what the real facts are in a situation. I mean, you can't, pardon my French, you can't BS your way through life. These debates are real facts, and you have to argue your facts and put them in a way that can become compelling to people. And again, understanding the other side helps you become compelling. Abraham Lincoln was a wonder. One of his great attributes was he was always able to he could put himself in the other guy's shoes and see what he's thinking. You have confidence in your own thoughts, which debate helps build, but it also allows you then to step outside and see what other people are thinking. Make sense of that in terms of the whole, whatever the issue is you're talking about. It can go from small to big. But the confidence it builds, the communications it builds, being able to speak coherently, unlike me half the time. I always say that, at Wintrust, we have a mantra. Number one is leave your ego at the door. It's our culture. Number two, there's 4 parts of the rhyme I always talk about. Take the blame, share the fame, avoid the shame, and enjoy the game. And when you think about it, take the blame means you need to be accountable for everything you do. You can't say it's not my fault, not my fault. Debate can't be your fault. You blew a fact. I mean, it's all on you to do it. Share the fame means you need to be able to push the credit for things down to other people, understand where they're coming from, listen to them, but they're the ones who do all the work. Avoid the shame means don't screw up. You'll be faced in your life with lots of different challenges, and I always use the 4 M's. You have to ask yourself when you run into those situations where it might be in the gray area, you go, first of all, what would your mentor think? Secondly, what would your media think? Thirdly, and most importantly, what would your mother think? Finally, what would your maker think? If you can pass all those 4, it's good. And finally, enjoy the game means get a good work-life balance. But to being able to discipline your mind, to be a real leader, is all based on your communication skills and your confidence in yourself. Confidence in yourself lets you not worry about being accountable. You can be accountable for what you did. You're not afraid to give the people underneath you or you work with all the credit because you have confidence in yourself. And I think that's the leadership that we need now, is a more compassionate leadership, more empathetic leadership. And I think the debate concept lines up perfectly with that.
Awesome. Thank you. So, Will, this question is for you. As an alumnus of the program, tell us what role debate and the skills you developed through debate played in you getting involved in community advocacy and organizing.
So I joined Chicago Debate as a high school student at Whitney Young in the late 90s, in the early years of the Chicago Debate program. And my debate teammates and I started noticing that there was this increasing emphasis on standardized testing in our school system, and it was hurting our education. At the same time, the debate program was teaching us to work together as a team, to think critically, to raise our voices. So it was a natural step to do that in other parts of our lives as well. So we decided to organize a protest. We intentionally flunked one of the standardized tests and then started an organization with students all over the state to work together on this issue. We actually made some real changes in education policy, and I saw the power that people could have thinking critically, acting collectively, and making our voices heard. And it launched me into a career in community organizing. Fast forward 20 years, the skills I learned in debate have helped me succeed as a full-time community organizer. And I now run an organization called the People's Lobby that has increased the minimum wage for tens of thousands of low-wage workers in suburban Cook County, and help change criminal justice policy so thousands fewer people are being locked up just because they can't afford bail.
Wow, that's really amazing and much needed work here in our community. Thank you for your advocacy. Ed, this question is for you. In an effort to help build a stronger Chicago, Wintrust has made a commitment to the community, which has been evidenced through your involvement and support in numerous community organizations and programs across the city. Tell us how you see Chicago Debates as helping to build a stronger Chicago.
Well, Wintrust is, as you say, we have taken the moniker of Chicago's bank, which means we need to serve every community in Chicago. What we were particularly interested in is the youth and education. We support all sorts of different educational programs, from the Cristo Rey schools to Loyola University to the grade schools, the big shoulder schools and the like, because without education, we're not going to build a strong future, and the future is in our children. Chicago Debates is a wonder. It's like non-contact football. It's people are competing in this, but they don't have to worry about breaking legs and stuff or getting new knees like I have to get one from those old days. But it allows. I think it's almost Jesuit in the way it goes about what they do, making people structure their thoughts and think through arguments on both sides of the equation. I think the empathy you get that it brings forth, and having to understand the other side and where they're coming from, is so important. So not only does it help the youth grow and get self-confidence, being able to speak in front of people, which is really hard, as you and I both know, Dr. Gunn. It allows them to just open their minds more. And that's what we need now, is we need more, we don't need herd thinking anymore. We need people to think and think of new ways out of situations. This is an opportunity for these young children and these young men and women who may not have a chance to do that, to be able to learn that aspect of living, and it'll serve them very well going forward. So if the future is our youth, Debates is a very important part of they're building them up to be great leaders in the future.
Awesome, thank you. Well, this question is for you. In the recent climate of protests, specifically around Black Lives Matter and other injustices inflicted upon communities of color, how do you see knowledge, experience, and skills that students are building through debate playing a role in the change that is happening now and to come in the future?
So I think that students who have had the experience of working together with a team, making arguments, advocating for policies, those students have a set of tools and experiences that they can use to organize people to make their voices heard together. Students can use those skills to plan effective and compelling protests in the streets, and they can help take the demands of the movement to every level of government, which requires analyzing problems and coming up with proposed solutions, and then advocating for those solutions in places like City Hall and in meetings with their aldermen or state legislators. And I hope that some of those students on Chicago debate teams today may someday win elections for public offices with campaign platforms that include righting the wrongs of police violence and racism and building a more just world.
Well, I have no doubt that that is the future to be, which our students will be at the table, no doubt about it. Dr. Shavaria, this question is for you. You just spoke a lot about the positive impact of debate, and I would imagine a lot of that has contributed to the reason that leadership has continued to advocate and support debate in the district. But what else would you say is behind, all the way at the top, Dr. Jackson supporting debate across the district?
Absolutely. So we know that there's evidence that tells us that debate is a meaningful experience that can positively impact students. But beyond that, I think a lot about our commitment to debate is driven by the fact that the work with and the opportunity for debate definitely aligns to our district's core values. So as a district, we've elevated 6 core values. We as a district want to adhere to being student-centered, focused on the whole child, advancing academic excellence, focusing on meaningful community partnership, equity, and continuous learning. And so when I think about the work that we do with Chicago Debates, I truly think that our work focuses, or that work hits all 6 of our core values. By creating that mentor relationship with students, we're very student-centered. By really allowing students to develop non-cognitive skills along with academic skills, we're attending to the whole child. I've spoken to the fact that Debates really has shown an impact on student academic excellence and opportunity. And our long-standing partnership with Chicago Debates is one that we honor in the spirit of community partnership, and really focusing on making sure that all students can access this opportunity demonstrates our commitment to equity. And in our partnership, we continue to work together to think about how we strengthen this partnership and the opportunities that we allow for students. And so in that way, we're living our commitment to continuous learning. So when I think about the work with Chicago Debates, it shows us a prime example of what it means to live our values as a district. And I also think that debate leaves an experience that is unforgettable for students. And we know that our CEO as a coach has been deeply marked by that experience. And we know that as a district, we're committed to providing experiences that shape students, that help them develop a positive identity, and that they'll carry forward beyond their time with Chicago Public Schools.
Thank you. Such an important partnership, and we are definitely very grateful to have 20 plus years of that partnership and more to come.
Absolutely. Agreed.
Those were extremely insightful perspectives about debate and how the skills cultivated through debate help to improve student academic outcomes and career and leadership preparedness and success. Thank you again to our expert participants, and we hope you too can now agree why everyone should be interested in supporting debate. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Catherine Smith, and I'm a Chicago Debates alumna and class of 2020 graduate of Lindblom High School. I'm excited to join you today to share with you my experiences as a debater.
Hello, my name is Dalen Davis, and I too am a Chicago Debates alumna and class of 2020 graduate of Lindblom Math and Science Academy. I'm also the 2020 Chicago Debates Debater of the Year, and I am honored to be a part of today's virtual experience.
You heard Dr. Gunn share today that upon her hire, someone posed the question to her of who should be interested in supporting debate, and her simple answer was everyone. I wholeheartedly agree. But pulling from my debate experience and format, I and my debate partner, Dalen Davis, are going to provide a few contentions in support of the affirmative for resolved, everyone should be interested in supporting debate. Normally, in a debate, there's also a negative or why something shouldn't happen. But in this case, we don't see any valid reason to not support debate, so there is no negative. Contention 1. Debate is empowering and transformational. When I was younger, I was very shy and soft-spoken. I didn't speak up much, I kept my opinions to myself, and felt as though my only role was to take up as little space as possible. But in 6th grade, my parents convinced me to join my middle school debate team, and it was the best decision I've ever made. Debate empowered me to use my voice. It taught me that my voice has value, it's impactful, and regardless of how unsure of myself I may be, there's always room to discuss and learn from those around you. Debate helped me to develop the self-confidence to emerge out of my shell and to be unafraid to speak up for the things I believe in. Debate is unique in that it teaches students and young adults that their voices matter and have the potential to be a liberating avenue for those who have been searching for a way to feel heard.
To follow my debate partner's format, normally there would also be some rebutting of the contentions that were presented. But again, who can really disagree about these evidence-based arguments? DeMarvin Catt and I represent real-life evidence to support each of these claims. So I too will support the affirmative to resolve. Everyone should be interested in supporting debate. Contention 1. Debate is empowering and transformational. I also joined debate as a middle school student at Skinner West. Initially, I thought it would be a fun, social, and productive way to spend my after-school time. I never once thought about how impactful and transformational it would be for me. Through debate, I became more of a critical thinker and a well-spoken child, just as my parents. But what's been most impactful for me is how debate has taught me to listen and to be open-minded to other people's narratives, ideas, and feelings. Learning what matters and is of value to others, especially my peers, has helped me to be a more empathetic person. Our champion of debate, honoree, spoke during the fireside chat as to how such empathy makes for stronger leaders and career success. Additionally, Debate helped me to learn how to bring my thoughts and voice to the table to encourage civil discourse with my peers when we may not agree on a topic. Debate has transformed me into a better educated citizen in terms of social and political problems. This is highly important to me, as I think people tend to live in cultural bubbles and never engage with problems that are bigger than them because they don't believe that they have the power to change them. This is where they are mistaken. The issues that debaters focus on affect each of us, and we are educated and empowered to advocate for change.
Contention 2. Debate provides community. Debate has given me an opportunity to create lifelong skills and networking opportunities that wouldn't have been accessible to me without participating in the activity. The relationships that are built are forever, especially because of all the time that you spend with the people around you. Whether it's a friendly rivalry, connections with judges and coaches, or the bond you create with your teammates, debate opens up a vast network of intellectuals that you can learn from and bond with both in and out of school. Debate in my debate community played such a significant role in shaping the type of student and person I want to be that I couldn't imagine going to college without diving deeper into everything debate has to offer, and so it should come as no surprise that debate played a huge role in my college selection process. I knew for a fact that I wanted to continue my debate career in college, so one of the biggest deciding factors for me was whether or not I could envision myself debating at any of the schools I had applied to. When I first started debating, everyone told me that debate would take people far. Now, almost 7 years later, I can say that they're absolutely right. It's helped to take me all the way to Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where I too am attending Wake Forest University on a full scholarship studying sociology with a concentration on criminal justice and minoring in ethnic studies while participating on the debate team where DeMarvin and I will now be teammates versus rivals.
Contention 2. Debate provides community. I continue to debate at Lindblom Math and Science Academy for one main reason. Debate gave me a family away from my biological family. The depth of the bond I developed with my teammates was nothing short of family, and went beyond what I would have gotten from just occasionally seeing them in the hall or in classes. Today, that bond and family connection continues with me staying involved at Lindblom as a community debate coach. The way I see it, it's my turn to give back to that community and continue the cycle of producing quality and compassionate debaters and students.
Contention 3. Debate builds strong skills for academic and future career leadership and life success. As I mentioned before, debate has shown me how to be a stronger speaker, but it has also helped build my academic and leadership skills, which I know I'll use in college. The skills I've learned in debate have had such a positive impact on my academic career in the past that it would seem impossible to imagine that they wouldn't help me in my future endeavors. Debate has taught me how to read large text in an efficient manner without the risk of losing comprehension. It's given me research tips and tricks that I definitely wouldn't have otherwise known, how to and when to expand on larger ideas, and when a few short and sweet words would do the trick. I imagine that those skills will help me navigate the larger text and research papers that will be required of me in a college environment, and gives me an upper hand in trying to work through a more complex educational structure. I also envision utilizing my debate skills in my future career as a civil rights attorney. The skills, relationships, and knowledge that debates provide students are unmatched. Debate gives students the opportunity to learn and grow in and outside of the classroom, which helps to shape our future. Urban debate programs such as Chicago Debates are integral in helping create the next generation of powerful leaders. I've always thought that the world would be a better place if everyone participated in debate at some point in their life, and making sure that everyone has access to opportunities and activities to build those skills is an important first step in making that possible.
Contention 3. Debate builds strong skills for academic and future career, leadership, and life success. When applying for a college, I knew that I needed to attend a college that had a debate program, or one that was located near an urban debate league where I could volunteer. Attending a college that had a debate program not only meant I could continue participating in the activities that I loved, but also meant the possibility of scholarships, which was very important in helping my hardworking parents to afford my education. However, despite receiving a debate scholarship, I ultimately decided to attend a historically Black university, the illustrious Fisk University, located in the Metro Nashville area, where I am double majoring in biology and political science to become an intellectual property attorney and politician. This was a hard decision because I love debate, but the one thing I enjoy more than debate is being able to teach others about debate. Fisk is located right near Nashville's Urban Debate League, which needs volunteers and hopefully my time as a community coach. Now at Fisk, I can already see my debate skills coming into play. Debate helped me to develop my research skills and how to organize and structure my arguments effectively, which strengthened my writing skills. I can honestly say I have had an extremely easy time writing my first research papers and essays, which I attribute to my debate skills. But how many college freshmen can say that? As we conclude, I would hope that people and companies would donate to Chicago Debates. In this day and age, it seems impossible to succeed in life without certain skills, like the ability to think critically and quickly, to effectively communicate and to use evidence and facts to support that communication, to understand that there are multiple perspectives and how to welcome and respect them in reaching compromise, to disagree with civility, and to use one's voice not only for self-advocacy, but for community advocacy. Debate helps to build all of these skills. Debate forces action and resolution and discourages complacency. Personally, I think that supporting to debate is key in helping to develop agents of change that will undoubtedly make the world better for everyone.
So, if you already support Chicago Debates, thank you for investing in us, our transformation, and our futures. If you don't currently support Chicago Debates, please consider doing so today.
I think we've made very strong arguments about why everyone should be interested in supporting debate. Now we are asking you to do so. Thank you for this opportunity to speak with you today.
Thank you for this opportunity to speak with you today.
Thank you, Dalen and Catherine. Everyone should definitely be interested in supporting debate. Our champion of debate, Mr. Ed Wimmer, while well known for his founding and heading the second largest bank group headquartered in Illinois, he is even more known for his generosity. Because Ed is so well known, I wanted to share a few things about him you wouldn't necessarily find online in his bio. But I have to begin with a short story about my first interaction with Ed. My very first corporate meeting as the executive director of Chicago Debates was with Ed. While Wintrust had been a supporter in the past, I had a new initiative in mind with a much larger request. Of course, I was really nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I had not met Ed before. And this was a big deal. I was meeting with the CEO of Wintrust. So I took my little nervous self in there and I gave my best 3-minute pitch. And without a hesitation, Ed said, "Let's do it. Sign us up." I was almost speechless because I wasn't prepared for that kind of quick response. But after getting to know more about Ed, it all makes complete sense. Ed is down to earth, he is humble, and he just downright loves Chicago. He is genuinely committed to raising people up and closing the disparity gaps that exist across our communities. He is truly invested in helping to build a stronger Chicago. Last year, Wintrust generously donated $15 million, which that's a pretty grand number. However, Ed's philosophy is that it's not about the amount, but the number of people and lives that are helped. That philosophy, keeping it about the people, is the reason the foundation supports 2,900 programs from education to health to financial literacy, economic mobility, and many more. But everything that Ed supports is personal. The $500 ask to support a small community program or activity is just as important to him as the $50,000 one. He doesn't like the list of accolades and is quick to remind you that at Wintrust, it is about we and not me. He leads with what he and Wintrust team members know as the Wintrust way, which we can all learn a lot from. We can do well by doing good. Join me in recognizing and congratulating Ed as our 2020 Champion of Debate for his unwavering commitment to Chicago's youth and building a stronger Chicago through community investments. Congratulations, and thank you, Ed.
Well, thank you very much. It's quite an honor to receive an award from such a distinguished organization, especially to a man who has never won a debate, especially at home. I figured by supporting this, I'll get some tricks and be able to win some of those debates that we deal with at home. But really, when you think of the Chicago debates, it's what it does for the kids is unbelievable. It gives these young men and women confidence. You know how hard it is to get up in front of an audience and speak, much less be judged on how well you do it. But it's so important for these young men and women to be able to do that. It develops their confidence. It also develops something I think is very important, which is empathy. The empathy of being able to they have to look at the other side of every debate, of every question, and answer that as well as the side that they are fostering. In this day and age, when people don't listen much anymore to the other side of the issues, it's very important that people do. It's how we're going to get to the middle of the road on certain issues and bring back compromise. But it's so important for these young men and women to be able to see both sides of an issue, think about both sides of an issue, and then tackle both sides of an issue. In today's day and age where people only don't listen as much as they do, you can't empathize with the other side. You can't understand the other side. Chicago Debates allows children and men and women, young men and women, to do this, to develop their skills, to develop their brains. There's nothing more important than that, especially now. On another note, you have to know that Chicago Debates is a great program that encourages young kids to stand up and rely on themselves. This is an invaluable skill to learn, and why Wintrust wanted to be a major part in what they do. Learning these skills now sets kids up for success in moving forward. As a bank that's working to help build a stronger Chicago, the type of program we'd love to get behind. I hope that you all would like to get behind this type of program too and support Chicago Debates. It's never more important than it is right now. So thank you very much. It's an honor.
Thank you, Ed. We are so thankful for your continued support. We do recognize that this global pandemic has greatly impacted our economy and left us unsure of what the future holds. But whatever it holds, we know that it must continue to invest in our youth, their education, and cultivation of their skills to ensure they are prepared to step into future careers and roles of leadership. You've heard today how our work here at Chicago Debates is about those investments and that we cannot do this work alone. Our goal today for this virtual experience is to raise $30,000, which we know is achievable through your generosity. Will you follow Ed's example and support student success, cultivate future leaders, and help build a stronger Chicago? Let me tell you how you can help us to reach that $30,000 goal. We have nearly 200 people joining this experience today. If every person today makes a donation, we can reach our goal. There are 3 ways that you can give today. You can text CHIDEBATES to 243-725, or you can go online to make your donation or make a pledge for a future donation. So far today, we've raised about $5,000, and we just need to raise $25,000 more to reach our goal. We can do this. Donations today will help us host 40 or more tournaments for students to strengthen their skills through competition. Last year, nearly 1,200 students participated in debate. This year, we are aiming to serve over 1,700. Donations today will also provide training and support for nearly 150 Chicago Public School teachers who dedicate their time to coach our students. Donations today will allow us to continue to offer our 2-week summer debate camp, tuition-free for Title I students. Donations today will also allow us to curate and provide virtual resources to strengthen our debaters' knowledge about the criminal justice reform topic that they will be debating about this year. There is a giving level for everyone. And we have a little giveaway. For any donation made today of $50 or more, we will send you a Chicago Debates COVID Can't Touch This kit, which includes a Chicago Debates mask and no-touch tool. So be sure to make your donation. You don't want to be without your Chicago Debates COVID Can't Touch This kit. As we close today, we hope today's experience has proved why everyone should support debate. We want to again thank all of our event sponsors, our program participants, Cook County Board President and 2013 Champion of Debate, Tony Preckwinkle, City Clerk of Chicago, Anna Valencia, Chief Administrator of the Chicago Civilian Office of Police Accountability, Sydney Roberts, and each of you for spending an hour with us today. We want to thank our board and staff who worked so hard behind the scenes to make this possible, And a very special thank you to our production team at Solid Live Media who helped us to bring our vision to life. We hope this experience was one like no other, and we look forward to seeing you in person on June 18th, 2021 for our 10th annual Make Room for Debate. Thank you.